I'm here to talk about some of what we're here for. We're here for Wednesday, February 12th and Thursday, February 13th. And I'm here to talk about some of what for those 2 days of action. These 2 days are typically the busiest days for the weekday games, other than Saturday, which is a lot of the conferences play on Saturday. But they do have a lot of the teams that are mid-majors that play on Sunday for TV purposes, or sometimes you have where they just typically play Sundays for whatever conference purposes, but a lot of them play on Sundays, their TV games, or like the power conferences. And then Saturday is, sometimes they play it for TV purposes, but on Saturdays, but that's usually the men's day. But they got a lot of these. I am going to be sharing with you here some of the more games that are like top tier games, and like not like necessarily like just like the top 25 teams. Only like the teams are like tops in their conference. That might be battling out like 2 teams like the top of their conferences that are battling out, or teams are like tops in their conferences battling out, with like maybe a team that's not in the top tier, but is like what's important for like seeding purposes for like conference tournaments come up, because first conference tournaments start March 4th, so that is the first Tuesday. We have the Horizon League that day, so, and we also have the sun go earlier in the day, in the morning, in the late morning. At least it's my time. It might be, if it's played in Florida, I believe it is still. It still is. Like just in Florida. That will be on that'll be early afternoon. It's like mid-afternoon, and then the men might do their little session in like the evening. And I know the women do it one day where they play, and the men do it one day. But then they may do it where they're doing it to where like the bottom 4 teams play first round. Then you get then the 5th and 6th teams, get buys. All the way to top 1 and 2, get like the semifinals. I think doing like kind of like that. I've seen like the West Coast Conference does. So, but I think they want fair representation, like their best teams to play in the conference tournaments, like their top team to be in NCAA March Madness, like whether they're top 2, first or second place team. They want like one of the teams, to be in like the WBI, like the women's tournaments, like be the WBIT or the WNIT. Like which one team automatically in the WNIT, because one team from the conference does the 31 conference as well, and then one team from the WNI that and then what they do for the WBIT is like that WNI, like the NITs do for the men, where like if you don't, where there's no automatic qualifiers, it's just if you're the only automatic, well there are automatic qualifiers, but there's no automatic qualifier for every conference, or for power conferences like they do now. They're having it to where like you automatically get in if you're the one senior conference tournament and you didn't win it, which is what I think it should be. Like I like that because they bring more opportunities like mid-majors and like stuff like that. And the good mid-majors, they're like 2 seeds in their conference tournaments or like 1 seeds in that one. Like top mid-majors. And then like the WNIT has some like is like focused on like mid-majors. There's a lot of mid-majors, but they have power conference teams are about 500. So I like that. The smaller tournaments focus on the mid-majors. I like that. And I mean the WBAT is like one of those teams like power conference teams that like were like just on the bubble, right on the bubble, didn't make it. So yeah, those two, like those teams like prove like, hey, we belong in the NCAA tournament. And then we got some big games here. We got Davidson Dean. Oh, that was actually big for a conference game 4-8-7-5. That kid's name, Dean, Ohio. And they got Butler, Georgetown, but then Jacksonville, Stetson, Kids Day in Valiant, Florida. Stetson played a Kids Day earlier on the road, but they're hosting Kids Day now. And that was pretty recently, like a week ago. And then Davidson had their Kids Day like in December, I believe. Dean has their Kids Day now. And Utah State, and for Colorado State, it's a big, good. It's gonna be should be a win, but we'll see. You never know. And then we got Presbyterian Trust in the Southern Metro Show because that starts an hour earlier than the rest at 5 Eastern. So and then we got Lehigh and Navy. That's a big game. The Navy is in like game behind the 8-3 teams, like Army, Holy Cross. And then we're in like the Colgate, Bucknell, Holy Cross, Army in that area. So that could be a big game. We have seating Arkansas State 3rd game against James Madison, and some of now is going to Wednesdays and Saturdays now. And for now, because they play their last day is on 28th on a Friday when they usually don't play on Fridays, but they're playing on Friday because instead of playing the first, and having like a 2-day turnaround, and then having like especially the travel, especially playing Friday, Saturday evening. If you played Saturday, even if you played like early Saturday afternoon, like noon local time, and then you traveled, and then you had to, then like you'd basically travel to it depends, like like when your game is. But if you play the first day, you'd basically be traveling like either you'd be traveling like same day as your game, or you'd be traveling like the next day on Sunday. And you want to have it so you'd have like a little practice for your game or shoot around or something. So there's no Wednesday, Saturday. I went to Wednesday, Friday for the final game day, which I like better. Arkansas State, their game against James Madison, total. James Madison just picked up a big win. James Madison just picked up a big win over Ball State in the MAC challenge. So it's a huge win for James Madison. Right there. So can Arkansas State now bounce back after a loss in the non-conference? They lost 2 balls to Bowling Green. So can they bounce back and actually stay game in James? Or can they stay game in? I like that they play they play actually against top teams or like ranked teams, like estimated records overall and like overall record or conference record best they can. But the MAC does have less teams, so it's like the top 11 all the MAC teams play against like the top, like all the top some teams. So make it kind of fair or pretty even. Which I like. Army, is playing that game. They're gonna type out with maybe Holy Cross Colgate, but no, Holy Cross Colgate isn't a good one. And then we got Boston University. That's to Cleveland State since they just crossed the 20 wins on Saturday. So in their last game, so can Cleveland State stay in third in the horizon? And what you want to do is you want to get that bye in the first round is what you really want. If you're in the conference tournament, the Cleveland State, because they're first round your quarterfinal, most at campus sites, and you want to get an automatic. If you get by the quarters, you would get an automatic host. And if you're in that first round range, you want to have that so you play at home. You have Kansas State. They're near top of the Big 12, so they need to win over Cincinnati to stay at the top. Tied for the top of the conference. They need that. We got Florida Gulf Coast. They should be able to get their 13-0 in the conference. And they're big, so that's actually not a big game. 1-5 on Longwood. Game 3, 7-3 for top. The winner will probably be a top second. Tied with Radford at least. He's tied with Radford, or maybe behind Radford if you're Longwood, but hey, he'll take it though. James Madison though. Can they stay 22-3? Can they stay near top of the A10? I mean, getting all these wins in the Atlantic 10, which is Atlantic 10 is a good mid-major basketball conference. Go staying at the top of the conference there. That'd be huge, because George Mason, because they're like right at the edge of the bubble for like the NCAA tournament. Like first four, last four in, which is like the teams that play like the first four portion. Yeah, that, and they're like right near there as now large as Richmond is. They have that qualifier actually, so I do believe Richmond is. Yes, Richmond is the AMAC qualifier, along with St. Joseph's and George Mason. So I could see one of them getting it, but I think George Mason is actually right behind there. But still, it's a really solid team. South Florida is a really solid team. They're right at the top of the conference, with North Texas, UTSA. Market and James Madison, App State. That's gonna be a good one. App State's near and then third. I want to say they're third in the conference. Shout out to Troy. Yeah, Troy has the tiebreaker on them, but there's some WNIT or WNIT range. I would say both those teams are like App State, Troy, Michigan. I wish I could try them, but that's a big one for. Because I don't have BNG Plus, that's a big one for conference tournaments. And NCAA tournament implications. Indiana's in that right on the edge of the tournament. Indiana is. So, and then we have Oklahoma State is a game back in Big 12 from first place, so we'll see if they can sneak their way in that, in this top team loses. TCU, Oklahoma State, Baylor, they both can get North Texas. Can they stay where they are in third? They're halfway back up from South Florida, and they stay in third place. That would be fourth round as UTSA. They need to stay in first as number one seed in their conference tournament. Can they do that? Can Central stay in first place? Or second place, Mason. They're a game behind. Normally 11-1 is pretty solid for your conference, but we have 12-0 Florida Gulf Coast in there. That is pretty solid, And their actually only loss was to Bellarmine for a second game of the conference season. So they haven't even played Florida Gulf Coast yet. They played them on the 20th, their only matchup, so which is a midweek game. which is a Thursday midweek. So, yeah, that's kind of an interesting game. But I also think North Central that'd be kind of interesting to see. Was that fluke loss? Was that last June? Just a fluke loss? It seems like it was, but an upset loss. But Roberts can bounce back after a loss to South Dakota State. North Dakota State upset South Dakota State. We'll see. Was not their bubble like that. I would say they're in the WNT pretty secure. Same with like Fresno State, but across Utah in that in that NCAA tournament. WBAT for I don't know about Carl, but they're probably at least NCAA tournament or like WBAT kind of it, depending on where they fall. I mean, same with Washington, Oregon. I could see that. Especially Washington, maybe they're in the WBAT, WNIT range. They're kind of in that range right there. And we near top of their cup. Almost. And they have like qualifier, so they're playing well, but they need to stay at top. Keep it pace. But I wonder if they get an at-large, if they lose their conference tournament. I mean, I would have to figure. I don't know, because there's a lot of mid-majors that are like on out. Like Harvard, Princeton, Columbia. You got 8, 9, 10. You got a bunch of good mid-majors, so sneaking in a second at-large bid. So and then we got on Thursday. We got a lot of conference. We got a lot of Kid State. We got St. Lucie hosting Kid State against St. Louis. Albany hosting Kid State against Maxwell. Jersey hosting Kid State against South Alabama. Nashville hosting Kid State against UTEP. Texas University hosting against Houston Christian. And Minnesota hosting Sacramento State. UAlbany is near the top of their conference. That's a big one. The others are mainly just for seeding. UAlbany is at half game ahead of Vermont. They lost to Vermont, and they lost to UMBC, so obviously, that's a big one. And yeah. So can they, yeah. So that'd be a big one. See if they can. They want to stay in the top 2 only, but you want to stay in the top because the host campus sites, the American tournament or the American East tournament is all hosted campus sites. So you got Duke, NC State, Louisville, Florida State, Alabama in the top for the ACC, and that's huge because like those teams are in contention for top seeds like Duke, NC State, Florida State are all like hosting the bubble. Like Duke, NC State, like Duke 3-4 seeds. Like Florida State could be like a 5 or something right now, 5 or 6. Same with like Louisville, they're could be a 6 or 7 or something like that. So they're all hoping for top better seeds. Vermont, that's a good top team. I'll show you now. So Wofford, Southern Indiana top teams in their respective conferences. Oh, that's a good one. Tennessee Tech, that's not a bad one in Ohio Valley Conference. That's a pretty good one, actually. And that could be like a rematch, like if you're like in the semifinals. Like if you're in that 4th spot, in the quarterfinals, like the 4 or 5 quarters. That's gonna be tough, because you have to play 2 top teams. Like 3 top teams. Instead of only having to play 2 for the top 3. Linwood, Eastern Illinois. You got Little Rock. You got Southern Indiana. Looks like it might be Southern Indiana, but and then you got actually, you got Tennessee Tech, Linwood, Eastern Illinois. Yeah, Little Rock is at 4. Southern Indiana is at 5. So Little Rock and Southern Indiana. So Quinnipiac, you got top seed and top team. Nebraska, Maryland, like I said, top teams for a tournament. For a tournament. South Carolina, they bounce back against Florida. Texas, Kentucky, that's going to be very interesting. Texas, Kentucky. Missouri State, top team. Same with Vermont in the Missouri Valley. You got Drake, Missouri State. Oh, that's a big one. in the for like the quarter. Like Illinois State, they're on the edge of having to play like the winner that could play like this is 3 to 4. So yeah, again, you know in the quarters you get at least have not facing like the top 4 into like the semis. So that's what you want. Troy is top team. Top 3, UNC Greensboro, you can see that. Chattanooga, Jackson State, Alabama. Ooh, that's a little bell for like second in the conference. And then you see Stonehill, St. Francis, PA.